Good morning, Friday morning, 9 a.m., March 8th, 2024. Get an audio check here as soon as this thing gets ready and comes up. Hello, talk to me. Talk to me, come on. There we go, unmute that. There we go, that's there. And then unmute desktop audio. The speaker bot can be heard. There's speaker bot putting in those messages about what you can do. Well, I might shut down a little bit early this morning because I do have a bit of a headache coming on, and I'll be better. I'll get better. Let's go take care of myself. I'll be all right. I have a few topics that was lined up for today. I don't have any topics for tomorrow. So I thought what I might do is just go acknowledge some channel comments, interact with the chat room a little bit, and then move along. Here's a comment from Wintermeat yesterday. This may not work in all cases, but to see if XMP is enabled without third-party tools, you can use this command to get the model name of the memory, so a WMIC command. Then use this command to get the current speed the memory is running at, a WMIC memory chip get speed, and then most model memory names will include the highest speed that memory can do in the model name, which is the XMP speed. So now it's most model names, not all of them. So if the numbers match, that tells you that you have XMP enabled. So that's still just a way to deduce or to figure out if XMP is enabled. That does not accomplish what I would like to see, and it's time for me to give that up. It's just not present. What I would like for Windows to tell us, just like virtualization here, it tells us that's enabled. I would like for on the memory panel to tell us that XMP is enabled. It's not there. Let it go. The reason why I would like that is because I would like it to be able to walk up to some machine I'm working on or I'm connected remotely to and just boom, see yes or no without having to go figure it out. But really the bottom line is I don't care. I've never had a reason to go look on one of my clients' computers and see if XMP is enabled. That was just an academic curiosity for me to go down that. It's over with, done, let go of it. And then the next channel comment from Kerry Holzman. Wonderful, thank you, Kerry, for putting in a comment. He says, XMP on the Intel platform is mostly just a placebo. Now, after going through the rest of this and doing some of my own research and testing, I can see his point. I squirm a little bit at the word placebo because like in the medical field or with medications, a placebo actually does nothing at all. But I see the reason for his comment, and I think I agree with it. Test it for yourself. I did. Run tests with XMP on, run tests with XMP off. I did. Since XMP can cause system instability, is it worth it just to see a psychological number? I am totally on board with his routine of not enabling XMP on the computers that he builds, particularly for his end user clients in the business environment. I think that makes total sense. The difference in performance, as I'm about to show, it's not anything that a normal end user is going to ever notice. Follow the facts, not the sheet. Make up your own mind once you test it yourself. I have. With regards to a matched set of RAM, it's RAM guaranteed to work together. I understood that. If the RAM is not a matched set, it might work fine with other RAM and it might not. And I think that's exactly what I said yesterday as being my understanding. So that gives a confirmation to that. Your choice as to whether, I guess your choice referring to unmatched or matched. Also, RAM speed, I love this part. Also, RAM speed is up to 3200 with XMP on. Just because your car, well, let's see, let's first deal with that one. RAM speed is up. That's like internet speed, up to 1 gigabit, up to 100 megabits. What they're promising is that it won't go over. Although sometimes, even with internet speed, I've seen them go over. Bad internet service provider, bad internet service provider. You went over the amount that you said up to. So RAM speed up to XMP with XMP on. And I actually did see that. I saw where my memory speed wasn't actually getting up to that number in actual usage. Just because your car's speedometer goes to 150 miles per hour and my car's speedometer goes to 160 miles per hour, is my car always faster than yours? Well, the answer to that, to the actual question there, is Carrie's car always faster than mine? The answer to that is yes. I've been in his car. Now, he doesn't drive it fast, but I know the car that he had when I went to pick up the big beast build, and he's made mention of other cars he's had in the past. Yeah, his car has always been faster than mine. Yeah, and the bit about the speedometers. He's used that example often. All right, so Carrie gets a thumbs up and a heart. Benjamin gets a thumbs up and a heart. I'm not. I'll go through more of my pictures tomorrow, but I'm just going to show this much with PassMark memory tester. Down here in Task Manager, you can see the memory XMP is turned off at the 2666. Now, another piece of this: if you are a person who knows this XMP speeds, all you got to do is look at that number and you know instantly that XMP is off, because 2666, correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding, 2666 is never the speed with XMP on. That's always one of the standard base clock speeds, right? Is that right? Looking at chat right now to see if you give me an exclamation mark Y, exclamation mark no. These numbers right here, if you know the typical speeds of memory, does that tell you right there, just by looking at what number that is, that you know XMP is on or off? Lawn Dog says yes. Waiting. Lawn Dog base clock speed. Nobody else chiming in on that? All right. But anyway, here's at the base speed, 2570. Selden says yes.
Affirmative.
Rand says XMP is 3200 and beyond. Yeah, so I think if you know the speeds, you know instantly when you look at that number. Let's see, I do have that maximized. Now here, so 2570, when we're looking at the base speed, with XMP on, you're going to see that it's 210 higher than that number. 210 is less than 10%. We know that the XMP speed of my memory is 3600. This is 2600, so it's 1000 higher. 1000 is over 30% of that number. So the difference of that speed number, the actual number, is over 30%. The difference in the memory mark speed is less than 10%. And I think that picture is to the left. I'm going to go a few times to the left. Yeah, there it is at 2780. And then the XMP speed down here, 3600. So the difference of that labeled number, well, 3600 is what's on the label. You understand what I mean. The difference between that memory speed number is a much higher difference than the actual tested number. Now, I did some other tests with Fortnite and with something else. Anyway, I'll talk more about those tomorrow. I just want to give you that much of a glimpse into what I did yesterday with it and not go into the rest right now. Because I need to go crash. I'll go pop out chat, run through chat, and then Let's shut this thing down. Some Fortnite conversations there. The trailer, yeah, Nick. Yeah, you said something about the look at me now yesterday, and so I pulled up that, and I saw that later on the tab, and I don't even remember what the joke was. But yeah, that's why I did that. That was just a slam dunk easy trailer to do. Alice, Mike, Brian, Nova, Nick, Dennis, Rick, Ran, hello to everybody. I think I caught everybody in there. Seldom Ball with Weather, Rick Lakes. Dell does not offer an option to turn XMP on or off. Oh, that's interesting. Really? Well, that Dell laptop I had here is no longer here. Is that, do you know that to be the case for Dell, or are you saying that simply because you found that on one Dell computer? Have you somehow found a policy published from Dell that says that, or is that your deduction based upon what you've seen on the computers that you have used? Do you have a link for memory mark software? Yeah, I got a link right. I got your link right here. PassMark.com. And then performance test. Let's see, benchmark, CPU benchmarks, RAM benchmarks. What was that? I think it was this one. Yeah, and then free trial. Just go into the free trial. So it's like a 30-day trial. So there it's in chat. I didn't explain in that chat message what that is, but it says passmark.com. Oops, what did I do? Hit a wrong key. That's all right. We're having XMP speeds of a byte 6400. So I said one of our discussions, the sales terminology used to sell XMP is you're leaving performance on the table. Why do that? Well, Carrie's position for why doing that is because you're less likely to have trouble. With XMP on, you're just closer to that boundary, is what I'm deducing his reasoning is. So that would be his reason. And performance, the end users that Carrie and I support in business environment, they never get near to utilizing the performance. So why turn it on if it's not going to make any difference to the end user? That's turning your question around the other way. Totally legitimate reasoning, and it is a person's choice, as Carrie said. Make your own choice. DDR5 is the 6400. Oh man, as I was going deeper into those numbers, it got to feel like politics. It was as messy and confusing. They were just kept throwing other numbers, other ratings. Like, oh, good grief. Marketing, yeah. Memory produced could run at higher speeds, so they certified these different speeds, basically called it XMP. Now, here's a question that came up to me, and I started researching a little bit. If my base speed was 2666, and this memory is labeled as 3600, can I buy 2666 memory that is not XMP capable? And I'm going to run it at 2666, and will that memory cost less than buying the 3600? So this is perhaps a question I would have to Carrie. Why do, or maybe he doesn't always do this, is there a reason to buy the ones labeled 3600 that are labeled as XMP rather than buying the 2666, if that's even available? I don't know. Which I would expect you would save some money on. Maybe it's not enough of a difference, money for money. But that's, Carrie, don't bother answering if you're not interested in answering that. I don't really care that much. But it's interesting. Higher frequency, higher latency as well. Oh, you're throwing something else into it? Are you kidding me? Bottom line, the memory chips have their limits. I have my limits. Do you have a link? Yeah, I did that. I'm reading this. I'm speed reading this. Not going to read them all out loud. Many Dell computers, and they say it on, okay, seen it on many Dell computers, and they say it on their website. So they say that, say what? That all of their computers don't have XMP, or on an individual computer that you're looking at. Learn what you're purchasing. I wouldn't bother. Next time I buy a Dell computer, I'm not going to go looking to see whether XMP is available or not. VirtualBox, Macrium, SysPrep experiment. Yeah, that's still on the table. Yeah. Yeah, that's on the table for tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, here's enabling extreme memory profiles on XMP Alienware using BIOS. So on their Alienware computers, which are gaming, they have the ability. Now this is called overclocking. They're not calling it overclomping. What did he say? It's not labeled as XMP. This field disables global overclocking functions. When this option is enabled, overclocking options are displayed. So I would assume that's for CPU and for memory. Yeah, this allows CPUs to adjust. Used to preset overclocking, customization, core ratio. This is all CPU. That doesn't mention memory there. Should I just stand here not talking for a while and let you put more stuff in chat so I can read it later? Danielle, hello Danielle, what are you saying? It's interesting to look at motherboard specs. They will usually show several speeds above lowest speed that are not designated as overclocking. Yeah, let's throw something else into the mix. Yeah, I thought about that also, buying a stick of RAM that was not XMP rated. I would say yes, but there's a caveat. Those are usually low budget RAM. Does that matter? Does it matter if they're low budget RAM, if they perform at the base clock speed that you want? I would think not. Reason for non-XMP RAM is probably when the RAM is produced and tested, what you do with the ones that don't meet a certain criteria, just sells them as straight base clock RAM. That makes sense. All right, I think that'll do it. I need to go chill out. I'll be doing the usual. I'm planning to do the usual time tomorrow. You never know. Such a Doug. All right. Hey, have a great Friday, everybody. Best wishes. Goodbye. Oh, wait a minute. Today's Friday. No. I haven't done a redirect to Carrie's show. Gotta go do a redirect to Carrie's show. Let's see. I gotta zoom that down so I can even see the edit button. Can't forget Carrie. There it is. And budget friendly. How about that? He's talking about budget friendly today. That is confirmed for today. All right. Well, while I'm here, I'll just go ahead and do. Oh, I found something yesterday when I did this in-stream button.
Did you see my question?
Martin says, "Did you see my question?" I'll go look at it here. Martin, did you see my question? I'll come back for Martin. Here. Hi everyone. Quick question. I have found that Crystal Disk Info, Crystal Disk Mark, and CPU-Z do not provide drive or memory info on laptops with soldered disk and memory direct on motherboard. Any tips? Oh, that's surprising. I'm Let's see, with laptops now, are you sure that it doesn't provide that information on any laptops that have soldered disk and memory direct on motherboard, or are you deducing that because you found that it's not working with a laptop you are working on that happens to have soldered disk and memory on the motherboard? That's a logic. You know, if a fruit is red, is it always an apple? No, might be a tomato. So just because you found that Crystal Disk Mark and CPU-Z did not work on the laptop that you have those parts soldered on doesn't mean that was the determining factor. But no, I haven't come across that. So is anybody else responding to that? I don't see any responses to that. Maybe there are some in the chat. I'm not going to go looking for it. But that's my response, Martin. I did not know about that. I would try, let's try this. I'm gonna directly copy that with a Control-C, then go to whatever this new thing, Copilot, whatever it's called. And ask the question there and see what Copilot has to say about that. I just took his exactly worded question. When dealing with laptops that have soldered memory directly, traditional tools like Crystal Disk may not provide. It doesn't say won't, it says may not provide. And understand, AI is not always correct. Saying Windows 11 has built-in tools, task manager, third-party alternatives, BIOS, so it's just showing other ways to get that information. That wasn't very helpful, really. May not provide detailed information. That's really not, that's not much of an answer. Maybe that'll be another topic on tomorrow's list. So what I was starting to tell you is yesterday I did this in stream button. What I realized 10 or 15 minutes later is that OBS was still streaming. OBS was still sending out the stream, although YouTube was no longer receiving it. So over here on OBS, this stop streaming button was still present, and my stop recording button was still present because it was still running. So ending stream here ends the stream promptly. All right, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and click that button. Have a great Friday, everybody. Goodbye.